Reggie Skolowski first, Dennis Sirkin, is he going to be available for the
Yes.
weekend?
Right.
And does that solve any problems for you in the sense that with Mepham missing, O'Nien slips into the middle?
Yes, we have many options now. We spoke together that probably the back four is the big strength for us because we have many options, even with suspensions or injuries. So with Dennis, we know that he's a good player. He played very well so far. So if he's available, it's good for us. Yeah.
With Chris Mepham, can I just sort of clear up? Presumably you didn't appeal the red card, and it's one part of the thinking is that because this is the 19th game, the amnesty effectively for anyone on 4 yellow cards. So Mepham missing it effectively means he cannot pick up a suspension now for picking up a 5th yellow card when he returns.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So that actually works well for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is the rule, so we have to deal with the rule, and yeah, no problem.
So fingers crossed, Rig and Job come through the weekend without picking up their 5th.
Yeah, they have to manage one more game. So obviously, when you are on the pitch, you have to make the right decisions, and sometimes a yellow card could be the right decision for the team, for the flow of the games, to avoid counter-attack, for example. So we'll see. And so far they managed the situation properly. It was the case for Trey as well for a long period. But at the end, I don't know if you remember how he received the fifth yellow card. It was an offensive action, and he could have scored, but didn't. And so in the game.
Do you speak to the players about it, or do you think you've got to trust them to manage their own games?
Yes,
on the day?
Absolutely. I have to trust them.
You spoke after Sheffield United about the concern in terms of offensively getting goals at the moment. It seems to have been sort of plateaued out. Do you think one player you're missing and will be missing for a little while yet still is Romain Mundle? Because it seems he was offering that little spark, that little bit of magic, which maybe was a little bit unpredictable. And in terms of that, that's perhaps what you're trying to find now, something different.
Yeah, it's always difficult to assess what we need to be more efficient, because, for example, the 3 last games we created many chances, more than our opponents, and at the end of these games we only win 2 points, so it's not good. For sure. So it's a question of collective dynamic. It's a question of improving many details, and some of these details, but it's not only the only ones are the player available. And we know that some players, like Romain, for example, is able to score even with small chances, so it is important for us, but at the moment he's not available, so we have to deal with the situation, and we won't wait for him to score again. So I think we have many elements to develop in our team. Probably it's the only focus we should have at the minute, and how we can create more chances, how we can convert the chances we have to score, and I think we have the potential, and we have the players in the team right now to do it.
You must be pleased with Tommy Watson then in that respect. I mean, I think he was probably one of the outstanding players at Sheffield United. It's just that with him and with Patrick, it's that final ball, the decision making at the final sort of movement, if you like, in the penalty area.
Yes, probably the final third is the most difficult area, because the goal is not big. It seems always shorter than expected, with a big goalkeeper, and it's not only the 2 wingers, it's not only the striker, it could be the 2 eights, it could be obviously with our set pieces as well, because we obtained maybe 30 set pieces during the last 3 games. So many options to score. It comes from everyone. We talk a lot about our striker at the beginning of the season, and we said if we don't have striker, we can't score. But so far, we scored maybe 25, 26, 27 goals. So it's possible to score with other players, not only a winger or someone else. So it's a question of responsibility, of taking risk, and probably the counter-pressing, the set pieces, and so on. So many details we can master, and we can develop during the training session, and probably the confidence we should have as well, because we are able to do it.
And in terms of, you just mentioned the wingers there, the wingers, Patrick and Tommy, they like to cut in, they like to bring it into the middle. Have you worked on the old-fashioned wing play, if you like, getting the ball down the touchline and crossing from the touchline into the penalty area?
We have in our game model, the wingers are very important because they are always on the flanks, and we are building the game from the back, and one of the main ideas is to give the ball to the wingers, and then it's like a trigger to accelerate and to find spaces and combinations and so on to disturb the defense. So the responsibility is very high, and they can touch many balls, so it's not an easy job, really. It's probably a different kind of personality, because you have to face with 1v1, 1v1, 1v1. You can fail and you have to do it again, because the responsibility is very high for the build-up. And I think at the minute, it's like a house. We built our foundations. So for the offensive phase, for example, we started with the build-up from the goalkeeper, then the middle of the pitch, how we can unbalance the opponent, and with always in our mindset how we can deal with the counter-attacks as well. So it's big culture, a big part of the culture, and because many players are involved in that phase, I think 11 players are involved in that phase. It's very long and tough to develop this part of the culture, and I think, for example, at Sheffield, it was very good, especially during the first half. We dominated this part of the game, and they struggled a lot to press us, and we find solution to avoid that pressure. And after, it's like, so the house is, so it's done, and we have to finish now the game, if I can say this like that. And probably we have to spend more time, and we are thinking about that with the players and the staff during our training session right now in the final third, because this is like the third part of the build-up, and we have to find solution and to get new experiences and so on to be more accurate.
Was it a bonus to have the game in hindsight on the Friday night to give you a couple of extra days leading up to the Stoke game, just with a couple of players maybe looking slightly leggy, slightly tired?
Yes, it's still useful for I think for the players, because the week was intense, very intense. Even emotionally, it was intense, because at the end of the game, obviously we were disappointed, and it's important to recover and to restart again with a new week. And for the staff and for me as well, it was very important to assess this sequence of 3 games, to watch what we did well, and this is our foundation. So keep going, keep developing this part of our game. And now we need this part, and in this part probably it's not a cognitive part. It's more believing, it's more intensity, it's more pushing with what is the quality, the good qualities of a young team as well. So don't overthink, just push and we'll see. And because we can trust our culture now, we can trust our players, our team, and now we have to push a little bit more. And this part of the season is very positive for that, because we are still in the right place, and now we have to believe in our qualities.
As you say, you're still in a good place, and the other sort of shift is, you know only too well, over the last couple of months, you've been having a lot of away games. You've been having 3 game weeks with 2 away games. Yeah. That sort of switches over this month. You've got 3 home games in the 4. albeit it's a long journey to Swansea. Is that important, do you think? That could be a factor?
Yeah, probably until the 4th of January we'll have 8 games, and 5 of them at home, and probably will be very important to deal with properly with this period, because it can make the difference. And I say it again, I think we are still in a good place. We have a good culture. We are really disappointed after the Sheffield game, and I think our fans as well, our journalists as well, because it was very clear that we dominated that game, and at the end we lost. So it's a shame, but it's the reality, and the reality is here, and we have to deal with it. So now this league is not finished. It's very long, so you can struggle for a short period. It was the case, I think, but not for the tactical point of view or the quality point of view. It's more a question of result, and result is everything, you know. But the foundations are still good, so we have to believe in it. And now this period is like a sprint, very interesting sprint, very positive. We enjoyed the playing many games, so this will be a new opportunity to be back in the first part of the table with the good quality we have.
And Stoke, we're going to get to know them very well over the next 6 weeks, with the cup draw now as well. What are your thoughts on them? I mean, probably as much like any other team in this division, on their day they can certainly prove to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Every game is difficult, and it will be another one. So we'll face 3 times against them in 1 month. So at the end we'll be best friends, I think. We'll see the results, but still a tough game. A good team with good players, able to balance every team. So like usual, I should say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We spoke earlier in the season about how important the crowd is at the Stadium of Light in helping the team. When the team's in a difficult moment like now, how important could the crowd be on Saturday?
I think it's a good point. The connection we have with our fans, they deserve to have positive emotions, and we need them to get back in the positive emotion. So sometimes it's like a circle. It could be vicious, or what is the opposite? Positive circle, something like that. You can find the word, please, journalist.
Phil?
Leave that with me.
Yeah. At the end of the press conference.
Yeah.
So we can create a new positive dynamic with only one good result. And sometimes we spoke a lot about this idea. We have to deserve our fans. And the connection here, especially in England and at Sunderland, I think it's fantastic. One action can create massive energy in the stadium, and they can support the team, and it's like an extra energy to maybe be more creative, push a little more for counter-pressing, for another tackle, and so on. And this connection is obviously very important for us, and we need them really to... Not only them, because they can't play really. So we are playing. I don't play. The players are playing, and but this extra energy is very useful for momentum, for some specific actions during the game, and can create the difference. Yeah, I agree.
This week, Christian Speakman spoke about the transfer window and about actioning things quickly, potentially. How are you feeling about the transfer window right now? Are you feeling positive about it?
My main focus is still the team, so we can't expect really to change a whole dynamic just by one player or 2 players. I think it's not my way of thinking, really. We can use this transfer window to add maybe a specific position because of a weakness, because of injuries, because of maybe the level of 1 or 2 players. but the solution is inside the team, is here. So probably we didn't expect it. We didn't expect at the beginning of the season to play like that, to have that level. So many players surprised us during the first part of the season, and I think it should be the case for the second part of the season. With one or two other players, it could help, but it's not the main option. During the winter transfer window, it's not the easiest one, because the story has begun from a long time. Maybe these players available right now didn't play a lot for the first part of the season. So how we can build this connection is not obvious. So it's very subtle, and the transfer window won't be massive, I think. And if we have to choose one or two players, it will be very accurate for the team and very subtle.
So if you feel like the answers are already here, how important then is it? Does the emphasis then go on keeping those players who will be attracting glances from other clubs?
Can you repeat, please?
So is it more important then to keep the players that you've got who are attractive to other clubs?
Yes, absolutely. I think so. And it's a question of responsibility and commitment. The solution is not outside. The solution is here. And when the players feel it, they don't have the choice. And it's us. It's not something else. It's not the coach. It's not the staff. It's not the sporting director. It's you on the pitch. And I think this is the main focus we should have, especially with young players, because they can think that maybe the solution is outside of them. But I think it's their solution, and they have the potential to play in a better way, to win games and so on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, in terms of, do you think it's just one more win and that'll get you back on track to where you kind of were at the start of the season? That all kind of the team needs to kind of get that confidence back and play again?
I don't think we have a problem of confidence right now, because of the way we are playing. If you watch the game against Sheffield away against that team first on the table, there were not lack of confidence at all. And I don't think that our attackers have this lack of confidence as well. But it's more a question of positive energy, and when you win, it's totally different in your head. And but at the minute, we know exactly when we lose or when we drew a lot, that something we are missing. But with sometimes the complex system like that, when they are fed with positive energy, you can't understand why, but you can score from everywhere without taking, and it's difficult to assess and to understand. Yeah.
And is there any sort of specific change you think need to be made to kind of get you back to where you were at the start of the season, or is it just a case of just getting back to the point?
No, I think the stability is a key. The changes, because I think the core of the team is set now, is very clear, and we can move one or two players, but we can't make many changes with the players available right now. I hope it will be the case later, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, with many other solutions. Maybe with another winger like Jan Povida, with another midfielder, with Salis, for example, another striker, with Ahmed, for example, Romain as a winger. So we could have 1 or 2 solutions in every position. But the stability and the belief in our game model is the key, and it's not unusual to have even a long period of average results or bad results. It's possible, but the history showed that even the teams who were promoted at the end of the season have 8, 9 or 10 games without winning, so it's possible. It's like we have to have this resilience. It's a part of the performance, and still believing in our system. Yeah.
Kind of just finally for me, just kind of touching the timing of this game in particular. So when here, sets you up for kind of the whole December, doesn't it? It's often that key month that sort of dictates how the rest of the season can go.
Yeah, it would be a massive month again, very exciting month, I think. Could make the difference or not, we don't know, because at the end of this period we'll have, I don't know how many games we'll have after this period. You know, Oscar? You are sleeping? No? A lot of games, yeah. So it's still possible.
That's great, thank you.
Just going back to Friday, you mentioned already that you played well in that game, you thought the performance was good. And so how tough is that to take when you know you've played well and you come away with nothing?
Yeah, it's difficult, it's already difficult. Emotionally, it wasn't easy to cope with it, I think, because we want to win, and when you played so well in many phases away at Sheffield United, it's really frustrating to lose that game. But football is like that, the competition is like that, and we have to face with it and keep going. Yeah.
And so, the same question but to the players group. Again, they know they've played well in that game. How did they take it?
I think they talked a lot in their group about that game and the ambition we should have. And so far we had 18 games, so we faced with almost all the teams of the league. So we know the level of the league, and we were good in many games. So their responsibility is very high, ours too, but they can believe in their qualities, good qualities, their potential as a team, as a players, and as a player. And now it's a question of intensity. You have to give everything on the pitch, and at the end, you can't really control the results, but you can control your commitment, your intensity, your willingness until the end. And at the end, we'll see. Yeah. This is the main point at the minute.
And of course, the preparation for all this comes on the training ground. How much do you enjoy your time on the training ground and working on the patterns of play, the styles of play, etc.?
This week was very good. It was a very good week, and it's a good sign because they are still involved. And as a staff, we have to manage these periods. We can, during training session, we can work on many different elements. So the choices this week, I think, were good about what we have to improve to get this new dynamic again, and the players were really involved. The session of this morning was really good. For example, we worked on this final third, and I don't know if it was enough. We'll see, but we are working on it. Yeah.